Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Funganyi. Thank you so much for joining us today. On this episode of Red Carpet, we take a look inside Washington, D.C.'s U Street. Okway Osadebe is keeping his father's legacy alive, and the soccer academy in Burtonsville, Maryland, founded by a Togolese immigrant, is changing lives and training children to be stars on and off the pitch. Let's get on with the show. And let's start the show with some highlights of the latest entertainment news from around the world. In music news, the nominees for the 2023 MTV Video Music Awards, that's the VMAs, have been revealed, and many African musicians are among them. The VMAs have added a new category for Best Afrobeats, which includes Nigerian talents like Wizkid, Davido, Rema, Ira Star, Burna Boy, Fireboy DML, and Libyankas. The VMAs will happen on September the 12th, 2023 at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. In more music news, US rapper DaBaby is facing criticism for his planned performance at the Empower Africa concert at the FNB Stadium in South Africa on September the 30th. The concert celebrates African music and culture, but many are angry that DaBaby is the headliner because of his abusive and homophobic behavior. The organizers of the Empower Africa concert have not yet responded to the backlash. And here is some more music news. Legendary Nigerian musician Chief Osita Osadebe is remembered as one of the pioneers of modern highlife music. His son, Okway Osadebe, started singing and dancing in his father's band from a young age. And as he charts his own path in music, he draws inspiration from his father's legacy. He tells me that his new album, titled Igbo Amaka, is a tribute to his late father. Let's take a look.
What inspired me is, one thing for sure, is keeping up with my father's legacy. And secondly, music is just in my blood. I couldn't run away from it, no matter how hard I may choose to do it, but it keeps calling me back. And I've been working on it for a few years. I've had a band over a decade. I've been doing music, more than a decade now. But this particular song, I wanted to bring out something that represents what my father, labored for over half a century.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your father? Obviously a very legendary figure in African music. Tell us about how he influenced your sound and the kind of impact that he had on African music in general.
My father is basically a traditionalist. Everything about culture and Africa, he cherished. He loved it. So when he was young, straight out of, high school, while in high school, he just jumped into music, and he never looked back. In the late 50s, middle 50s, 1955, 56, 57, he just took the bulls by the horn and started off his career in music. And he stayed true to his culture.
And here is some more music news. The music genre hip-hop celebrates its 50th anniversary this year with events across the United States. A Los Angeles art gallery is showing photographs of hip-hop legends. Jenia Dulo visited the gallery and files this report. Let's take a look.
The Morrison Hotel Gallery in Los Angeles is celebrating 50 years of hip-hop with a photo exhibit. American photographer Bob Gruen is showing his picture of Malcolm McLaren, who was one of the pioneers of hip-hop in the early 1980s.
His album, Buffalo Gals, has been sampled by more than hundreds and hundreds of hip-hop other albums that followed. It almost became something you had to do, is take some of Malcolm's sounds in order to make a hip-hop album.
In 1988, photographer Timothy White took this picture of the not yet famous rapper Jay-Z.
It's a voice, you know, it's a clear voice of a generation, of a culture that has become something else, you know, it's become sort of part of musical consciousness. It's become something that that's of its own genre, and it's powerful. I mean, there's a whole generation. It's the 50th anniversary. It's 50 years. There's 50-year-olds who grew up only on that music.
Photographer Cheryl Fox has been documenting hip-hop stars for decades. She says hip-hop inspires confident women, both in front of the camera and behind it. This is a 2012 photo of entertainer Rihanna, who has incorporated various genres into her work.
She's good in her skin, she knows her talents, and she believes in herself. And that's how women make it in hip-hop. They're like unicorns. We're like unicorns. Even people say to me, like, oh my God, like you captured all these people in this male-dominated space. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you're a unicorn. But we know who we are as women in hip-hop.
Celebration of the music and the art it has inspired continue throughout 2023. Marking 50 years since music scholars say hip-hop was born at the party in the New York borough of the Bronx in 1973. Genia Dulo for VOA News, Los Angeles.
In the heart of Washington, D.C., there is a street that pulses with history, culture, and diversity. U Street, as it's known, has been a witness to the rise of African-American culture and the stage for legendary artists like Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, and Louis Armstrong. BOA's Ray Makuchi explores its rich heritage, vibrant murals, and lively nightlife. Take a look.
There is a place right in the heart of Washington, D.C. with a rich history of African-American accent, vibrant murals, and a diverse nightlife. It is surrounded by one of the richest cultures in the city, full of bars, restaurants, with a trade in constant renewal. We are talking about the U Street. The street is famous for its history and for being one of the cradles of the rise of Black American culture. In the early 1900s, U Street flourished, and one reason was it was home to around 300 Black American-owned businesses. One of the relics of U Street is Ben's Chili Bowl restaurant.
I believe it's the street's diversity that is attractive. You can leave a bar that is not that good and just walk to the next one.
Personally, I prefer the pizza places, since pizza is my favorite food.
It was once called the Black Broadway, and it was the epicenter of Black art and culture for the most 1900s. Just walk down one of these alleys and you'll come across African-American graffiti, many depicting the rich history of their community. But what is the U Street these days? U Street today remains as an important street for the community, and we can see its people and businesses embracing common causes like the support given to the LGBTQ+, for example. It is also here that many residents bring their favorite toys. We talk about cars, motorcycles, and so on. The street is almost unrecognizable late at night, and its asphalt becomes an attraction. The experience can be unique and even frightening.
And now to some fashion news. Jonas King from Brooklyn, New York is among a new group of designers who focus on revitalizing pre-owned garments and textiles. As Nina Vishneva reports, King takes someone's trash and turns it into custom pieces. And Rice narrates the story. Let's take a look.
So this is a bunch of my scraps. I kind of have scraps everywhere, as you can see. My whole life is fabric scraps.
Jonas King is a Brooklyn-based designer who resaws and redyes, transforms and upcycles, revives and remakes. His own clothing is a patchwork of colors, patterns, and fabrics galore. King is a so-called upcycler, the latest environmentally friendly trend that suggests anything old can be given a new life. In his case, garments.
Humans as a species are just making way too much stuff. We have in the world right now enough clothing to clothe the next 6 generations. And you got to think that clothing is not even distributed evenly throughout the world. It's all in the West.
King attends New York's Fashion Institute of Technology and lives in Brooklyn with some friends, artists and musicians. He gets some material from friends, but a lot of it comes from a New York recycling and a reuse service called Fab Scrap. Next, he plans to try using dandelions and sunflowers to get some earthy colors for his clothing. King sells his shirts, pants, and bags through his 250 clothing website. For Nina Vishneva in New York, Anna Rice, VOA News.
And let's take a look at some sports news. A soccer academy in Burtonsville, Maryland, founded by a Togolese immigrant, is changing lives and training children to be stars on and off the pitch. VOA's Azuma Kampwari has the story.
The players of the Elite Soccer Youth Development Academy, or EZIDA, are taking the pitch with enthusiasm. Their passion for the game creates an atmosphere filled with energy and excitement.
When I play soccer and I score goals, it makes me get trophies. And they clap for me.
Emmanuel is not the only student who wants to win, but this academy is about more than just trophies and goals. It's a platform for instilling discipline, creating lasting friendships, and fostering an openness that goes beyond the soccer field, says Emmanuel's father, Joel Weniblo.
We are following the direction of the coaches and organizers here. No violence, fair play. The spirit that we see should also be reflected in their future so that we can have a more unified society where there is security, harmony, and all will prosper.
Le vivre ensemble, tout ça va prospérer.
As an immigrant from Togo, Coach Adbeniyan Amusu, known for his nickname Fofo, started the academy 20 years ago. Amusu says his professional soccer background and unwavering commitment to youth development won the community over.
When I started EZIDA 20 years ago, I faced skepticism and was called lazy. But as we studied the field and realized that soccer could be an instrument to combat poverty, delinquency, and substance abuse, perceptions began to change.
As anticipation builds towards the 2026 World Cup, the Academy continues to train future soccer players, embodying the belief that the sport is not just about competition, but also about personal growth and community building. Azuma Kampwari for VOA News, Burtonsville, Maryland.
Thank you so much for watching VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Bunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voaafrica.com. We are also on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Until next time, goodbye everyone.